One of a Kind with Rob Van Dam is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
I was just stoked that he was there, because I thought he's always been one of my favorite monster heels. He's just so intense, big, 7-foot Frankenstein looking motherfucker, like.
But yeah, Rob, passing a Sid happened, unexpected, very much so. Had stage 4 cancer, his son said, and that I think it was stemmed from a Roundup weed killer. Apparently, must have been overdue effects to it. Yeah, or overdue when you're around it too much or something. That's what he cited as, and just wanted to get your thoughts on Sid. We've talked about him, like I said before, on here, but obviously, and you said you would had a great match with him, something you wanted to do, and then you talked about how generous he was when he had you guys in a handicap match in the early days as Matt Byrne. So
Yep, yeah, that's true, man. And when he came into ECW, I was new. I think I was 96, and so I was just stoked that he was there, because I thought he's always been one of my favorite monster heels. He's just so intense, big, fucking 7-foot Frankenstein looking motherfucker, like, boom. I just always thought that, and so I've always been a fan. It doesn't sound like you know much about the weed killer, so just that's worth talking a little bit about for a quick second. Now, I don't know if Sid's condition was specific. Probably, maybe. I still doubt that it's out of the bounds of what I'm talking about, because that's really not the way the universe works. But DDP told me years ago about how there's this company, Los Santos. I might be one letter off. Los Santos. It might not start with an M, though. I know people in the chat room are going to know what I'm talking about. It's not Dos Santos. That would be a wrestler.
Monsanto.
Oh, there's an N in there. Thank you. So anyway, DDP was the first one to tell me about this. And he was like, bro. And he was trying to tell me to eat organic. And the reason he was saying that you got to eat organic is because everything else is genetically modified. And it started with this group, Monsanto's, according to my understanding and what DDP shared with me and what I later went on and studied. This company, they made a bug deterrent, like bug spray, using genetically modified potions. And you're gonna think it does sound crazy, but you're gonna have to look it up, and then I won't be the source. But they combine shit like the genes of a spider with the genes of a cow. Whoa. Put them together and shit. And they did this with other combinations that I don't remember, but I'm going to tell you where you can go see it. And anyway, this company that made this fucking bug spray, what it would do is it would make stomachs explode. And that's what they used it for, so the bugs wouldn't fuck with the corn in the cornfields, because if the bugs ate it, then their stomachs would explode. But guess what? When people eat the corn, their stomachs explode. And so this company was so big, and apparently corn and whey is the basis for fucking almost all foods, way more than I ever thought of. And they even they had this shit patented. And when the wind blew their pollen over to these other fields, they then got evidence that the other fields were using their genetically modified bug killer. So they sued and monopolized because their shit blew into other fields. And then the genetic manipulation that they've used is so fucking, and I mean, a lot of people think that's playing God. Okay. This documentary I'm going to tell you about that DDP turned me on to explains all of this, and it timelines it with all these diseases that happen and spiked at the same time that Monsanto's started going big, and in fact, got the patent or whatever, and then boom, all of a sudden, stomach cancers and people, just sick people. The movie's called Genetic Roulette. Roulette. I always say that word wrong. It's roulette, right?
Yeah, it's roulette.
I always say it like I'm French. I don't know why. I got made fun of my whole life, and I still can't remember the right way to say it.
Roulette.
Hey, Barbie, quit that. Anyway, it's called Genetic Roulette. I highly recommend it. You can watch it on YouTube, I'm pretty sure. Pretty damn sure. And anyway, great movie, and it'll open your mind, and you'll see what I'm talking about. A spider and a cow and some crazy shit. Like, let's take the genes of a goat and put it with a hawk. Or I don't know exactly what it was, but then that's when they say genetically modified food, and now they say no GMOs. They're saying we don't have that shit in our food, unlike the other 90% of the country or whatever that has been exposed to it. So it was a really, really big problem. It still is, because now it's spread everywhere, and it probably fucking got Sid sick.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat, and I think I heard this before too, Italian, he said Sid sold farm chemicals. So
yeah, I figured it'd be a lot more specific, if he was going to name that. Still watch the movie, though, Genetic Roulette.
Genetic Roulette, guys. Check it out. I'll have to check it out, too.
I love documentaries. This is a really good one.
Yeah.
Even if you're only going to watch 15 minutes of it, fucking check it out.
Check it out for sure. Rob, so Sid actually worked in ECW in 1999. He made his debut at ECW Guilty as Charged. I had this stuff typed out here. Jeff Jones found John Kronos to be guilty as charged for hitting him with a 450 splash a week before Sid's debut. Kronos was sentenced to face the executioner, who was described as a little bit psycho, and he's going to deal out my brand of justice in a vicious manner. And Kronos was one of ECW's top tag teams with the Eliminators, and he was helpless in the ring with Sid. So Sid dominated him, chokeslammed him, and hit him with 3 chair shots, and Sid was super over. This took place in Kissimmee, Florida, and they said the crowd loved Sid. And then Living Dangerously, Sid showed up to attack the Dudley Boy, beat up Spike Dudley real bad. So he was a really big impact. He only had a short stint, because right after that he went to WCW, but Sid said he had a lot of fun working in ECW. I saw in an interview, and that Paul Heyman kind of knew how to handle him. He mentioned too how great he was at handling him, like being this unexpected big man monster heel. He basically said so. Pretty neat stuff. It blew my mind. I kind of forgot Sid was in ECW for a little bit.
Yeah, and I know we really liked him. Me and Sabu, anyway. I think everybody did, but I just. I remember he got a lot of respect from us. We were glad to have him there, and it's like one of those moments where it made our company feel, bigger and more legitimized, and add a little more credibility to it. Yeah. Which, by the way, is what one of the AEW wrestlers told me last time, or the last couple of times that I'm there, that's what I do for them. Him speaking for everybody, but anyway, little circle of life there.
Not that
I'm, the main event wrestling against Hulk Hogan like Sid was, but different times, brother, different times.
Dude, well, like we talked about a little bit yet last week when you were saying like, oh, I feel somewhat a culprit of how like wrestling is styled today, or how some of the younger talent don't really focus too much on certain aspects of the game, but still, like, to that comparison, being in AEW, I think does elevate the product and make it feel like a bigger deal, because like you're an established Hall of Famer and going up against somebody like Jack Perry and helping him out, and then working with Swerve, who's now their biggest star arguably. It's kind of good news. So that's good stuff, Rob. So what else was I going to say about Sid? There was something else I was going to mention about him that I thought was pertinent. This is what I was going to say. Sid, he always got ragged about, like, hey, he's like softball, and he would go and like leave and kind of have that kind of, thing about him. Like, okay, he could have been a bigger star. Look at Barbie. Look at old Barbie. Oh my gosh.
Barbie D. Barbie D.
Barbie D. Lovey D too.
What's that like too? Come here.
Hello, Lovey.
Come here.
Say hi to Lovey. Oh, look at that. Lovey's a
I
nice
love
one.
these doggies.
He's a sweetheart. Lovey is so nice. I'm gonna meet Barbie someday.
They wrestle all day.
Do they? Good. Good.
It's weird how good dogs know how to wrestle, and learn everything, really. I mean, we got to be taught how to fucking walk and hold a glass of water, and these dogs just running, sprinting, like Barbie will go into stalker mode, where she tries to freeze, like Barbie doesn't see her, and then go real slow, and then boom, jump on her. It's like, who taught her that? Like, that is 7 months old or whatever. That's amazing, the instinct that they come with.
Isn't it? And it's like they know their limits too. Like if they're hurting them one another too bad or something like that, they can usually pull back.
Yeah, make it. It's fun to a certain point, huh, Barbar?
Yeah.
Then they, even wrestling, like the reversals, the way they get each other down, and like roll the arm for leverage, and put her foot on the other one's stomach when she's down on her back. Everything I watch them do, I'm just like amazed at how they come preloaded like that.
Preloaded, ready to order. But like then I think about Sid, if he was in modern wrestling today, he probably would have really flourished a little bit more, because it seems like with the lighter schedules and a little bit more leniency for wrestlers and talent to get time off. And I just think it's kind of fascinating to think about. Sid was in a different, and his priorities were different. That's what it was. It's like he was not that. He liked wrestling, but it wasn't like his main thought about things. Like his priorities were different, and it would kind of be interesting to see him in the modern day aspect.
Yeah, I wonder, is there a place for, say, 80s, 90s style of wrestling? Is there still a place for that, or does everybody have to do a fucking Spanish fly into the fucking Canadian destroyer 4 times? I mean, seriously, it looks like the style, when you say today's style, that's what I think of. Mm-hmm. And I wonder, we don't have a lot of different wrestling organizations on TV that we're exposed to, but there's a lot of other ones out there that we're not exposed to. I just wonder, I guess, I don't know. I mean, even on the indie scene, the TV has to take over the style. So, I'm just thinking, I don't know, like, how could someone like Sid not have a great spot, but at the same time, what's the dude in AEW? The dinosaur dude. He was with Jungle Boy.
Luchasaurus.
Lizardsaurus. Yeah.
Yeah, Luchasaurus.
I mean, that guy wants to do backflips and moonsaults and hurricanranas, and it seems like to me anyway when I watch him that he wants to show that he can wrestle like a smaller guy, which is just one way of putting it. He's probably not trying to say, "Hey, look, I wrestle like a small guy." He's trying to say, "Hey, I'm a big guy, and I can still do all these moves and agile." But the way that it comes across is, more like representative of today's standards. That's the kind of stuff that makes it so that is a majority of what we're seeing, right?
Right. No, I mean, especially like in certain promotions, there's more of a tendency for bigger wrestlers and guys to do that. But, I kind of look at, like, if you're looking at the top of the cards, for example, like in WWE at the moment, there's, like, big dude like Damian Priest is in there, and he's athletic and he does stuff, but I think Fid would still fit in that mold of getting over and being that, just a presence and everything like that. I think the hierarchy and everybody that's there would pretty much know how to handle him, I think, in certain ways, and kind of, and especially with Paul Heyman back there, But
I would love something like that to bring it all back a little bit, personally, to back up a little bit, because here's an example, like Big Van Vader, he would do a moonsault. It was an ugly moonsault, and when he did it, it was like, whoa, and like, thank God his knee wasn't 6 inches over the other direction, or that guy would have smashed face. Now, if Vader took a clothesline bump and did like a 360 bump like Matt Byrne did with Sid Vicious, then that moonsault wouldn't be as impressive, you know?
Right.
You
Yeah.
just got clotheslined and got your fucking head knocked off so bad your feet came over it, and you're fucking 400 and some pounds. You know, who cares if you can do a moonsault then?
No, it's true. It is. Yeah, no, I think Sid still would have flourished. I think, and I don't know. Maybe I have like the more of that older mindset too when it comes to not being as, hey, I want to see all this athleticism go down and these high flying stuff, and I'm more still about the story and what the psychology is in the ring and all that stuff. Ooh, look at that. Look at that.
Malcolm, if you got him,
Smoke them if you got them, guys. I know a lot of people are chatting about that here too.
about
Getting
time.
it done. So, but yeah, I think Sid would have fit. He would have made it. I think he would have been okay in this landscape, and it might have been.
Yeah, dude, you said that 15 times. Just say it again. I'm coming through after you.
Oh shit.
No, hopefully with him. I like Sid. R.I.P. Good dude.
Yep. Great dude. Great dude.
Good dude as far as I know.
One of a Kind with Rob Van Dam is recorded in front of a live studio audience.